It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Okay, here it is. A company becomes obsolete when they focus on delivering the past to the future instead of the future to the present. Say that all the time, right? What the hell's the deal with this hybrid model? This hybrid business model that the Document Imaging Channel wants to get into now that the pandemic's coming to an end. We got to have a hybrid model. You know, we're not ready to admit that most of the stuff we do can be done remotely. So we have to have this hybrid model. Plus, we don't want to admit that people don't need to work in the office because that would mean that they're not going to buy our big giant copy machines and put them in the offices that they're not going to work in. So we as an industry, we have to be able to go back to our offices because we hope that if we go back to our offices as an industry, that all the customers we serve and support will go back to their offices as well. Doesn't that just sound like total nonsense? It's just idioticness, and who the hell would ever think this way? And sometimes, my friends, I think we have a whole lot of the leaders in the Document Imaging Channel thinking exactly this way. We're trying to merge the past with the future. We have to call it a hybrid model. It was last weekend I put an article out there on LinkedIn. Please go read it. It's titled this, Leading Remote Workers Through the Glass. It's not about hybrid. I believe the word hybrid just is a nice way of saying procrastinator. Yeah, we're a procrastinating organization, so we're going to come up with a hybrid model. We can't quite admit that the future's here, so we want to try to get to the future through the vehicle of the past. We're going to kind of mix the future and the past together, and we're going to call it a hybrid model. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if Elon Musk decided back when he was building Tesla? Oh yeah, people are complaining about the electric automobile. They keep saying that they can't go very far on them, and they're not really comfortable with all electric vehicles. So he decided, well, let me make a hybrid. I'll put a combustible motor in there with the batteries. No, he didn't do any of that shit. What he did is he built the future car. And he kept building it better. And he kept building it better. And now he's leading the way and the whole world will go electric. And that electric switch from combustible to electric is going to blow people's minds. It wasn't about a hybrid plan, some crazy plan to get people to feel good about the future. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been in a global pandemic for 15 months. We've had 15 months of on-the-job training to learn how to work in a remote world. What did we do with the time? I'll tell you, the innovators, they took well advantage of this time. They've already planned strategies around the new normalcy that they're creating. They've already planned strategies about what they're going to do with their office space and how that's going to change because they did realize their workers were accomplishing tremendous things working remote. It's not about a hybrid model, about bringing the past to the future. I put a slide together here for you, ladies and gentlemen. You know, the reason we went to the office years ago is because that's where all the damn equipment was. Come on. The computer system took up a whole office or more. It was huge. You had to go to the office to work on the computers. You had to go to the office to be part of these massive typing pools. You had to go to the office to dig through files. We used to have a job, file clerk, right? Folks, you don't have to go to the office to dig through files. They're in the cloud. You don't have to go to the office to go in this huge room that's a computer because the computer you need is your mobile device for the most part. Remember the big giant copy machines? That's one of the original Xeroxes there. Remember those big giant things? Guess what? You don't need those big giant things anymore because you don't need to print off and copy that many pages anymore because more and more people are consuming information behind glass. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the equipment. We don't need to go to the office to use this equipment. We got it in our home. And the information's in the cloud. So quit telling your employees that you have to have some hybrid model. Just get to the future. It's right there. Just go. Open the door and go to the future. Trying to drag the past to the future so people are comfortable is what innovators hope the old way continues doing. The innovators hope the old way gets so confused by what the new way is going to accomplish that they hold themselves in the old way just a little bit longer. So the innovators can completely wipe them off the map because that's what the innovators plan for. They plan for the procrastination of the old way. They plan that the old way will waste way many resources and way too much time coming together with some hybrid model. Go where the future's going, my friends, because it's there. We can do it. No one wants to walk into the office like cattle going to the trough anymore. They want to be at home with their cup of coffee, getting a whole lot of work done. And I realize that remote work's not for every single vertical and every single vocation in life, but here's the deal, my friends. You could do a whole lot remote. We all proved it. As a world, we proved we could do a whole lot remote. Focus on buying your people the technologies they need so that they're happy in the remote world. And get there. You don't need to create some hybrid model. That just tells the whole world that you're a procrastinator. Just some of the things I think about, because we all know this, my friends. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and I'll see you all tomorrow.